Hi friends, David here from Above AVL, and in this video we want to talk about feedback. So no doubt, especially if you work with AV or you're considering working with AV, in every movie where somebody gets up on stage to say something, right? Every movie, TV show, etc., they tap the mic, which is obnoxious and shows a complete distrust in their sound person. They tap the mic and then there's a little squeal of feedback and then they say, is this thing on or something? Then they talk, right? As obnoxious as that is, they get feedback. Why? Okay, what is feedback? How do we make it happen so that we can understand it, so that we can make it not happen in our events? Let's talk about it. So feedback at its core level is really based on, you really got to understand some signal flow of audio to make it make sense, right? So my voice or every audio that's being picked up by this microphone comes into this mixing board, right? Into this soundboard, okay? And then it's gonna come on out and go into the power amp, to the speaker, or straight to a powered speaker, where it's then transformed back into sound in a very similar approach to the way a dynamic microphone works. Speakers and dynamic microphones are essentially the same thing. One is just input, one is just output. And once it comes out of here, if it gets loud enough that it comes back into here, then it starts to create a loop because of the little bit of delay that happens in accordance with the little bit of delay, and that creates feedback that then can build up. What types of feedback do we hear on a stage? Well, let's demonstrate. So I've got this microphone here, and I'm not going to send the direct sound from this microphone, just the feedback to the video. I hope it turns out well. So 1, 2, 2, 2. So we start turning it up, 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 up. And do you hear that little ring that we just heard? That is the start of some feedback. And if we let that go, or if we get the mic much closer to the back of the speaker, you see we get that persistent ringing that gets bigger and bigger. Now, why was that feedback not harsh and shrill, but low and moany? Why was it like that? Well, it depends on what the microphone can pick up from the speaker. So in general, when you're getting feedback off of main speakers, which the microphone is behind, like in this quick example, it's going to be slow like that. It's going to be low because the high frequencies aren't the frequencies that are getting loud enough to start feeding back. If we turn it, however, and then we'll start turning it up just a little. Yeah. Nobody likes that. It's not great for your speakers. It's, not great for your ears for sure. And it just sounds bad. And so when the frequencies are higher, generally, that means the microphone is in front of the speaker. So if you have stage monitors and main speakers, the microphone's behind the main speakers, but in range of the stage monitor, and the feedback is a high frequency, then you know that it is most likely coming from the stage monitors, the direct sound. And so what can we do with that, and how can we fix it? Well, the simplest answer is we have to turn down the amount of the sound that's coming from the speaker into the microphone. So how do we do that, right? Well, the simplest and easiest way is we can turn it down, right? So say you're feeding back from a stage monitor. If you're able to turn down that microphone in that monitor, or turn down that monitor as a whole, which therefore turns down that microphone in the monitor, then you're going to get rid of that feedback. And sometimes that's all you need. You can also EQ it. Okay, so for example here, and I apologize, we'll go to the overhead camera because my camera switcher doesn't seem to be happy. And we're sitting here and we have some feedback. And this is a very simple little sound console. But if I cut the lows out, now the feedback is gone. And so you can see there, I cut the lows out. I could even start cutting the mids out or turning it down. And now, yes, It sounds thinner, but also the feedback is gone. And so that's really the basics of how you get rid of feedback in an audio system. Now, a few nuances to it. If it's feeding back from a stage monitor, a common way to deal with it and a good way to deal with it is rather than EQing it at the channel level on the console, you can EQ it as the EQ that's going to that stage monitor. And especially with a lot of digital consoles, which most people are probably using these days, a lot of times the EQ from the channel doesn't route to the send for the monitor because you want the most natural, uncolored sound from the microphone directly coming to the monitor for the musician, right? So in that case, messing with the EQ all day long isn't gonna do squat, okay, if the feedback's coming from on stage. Sure, if it's coming from the main speaker, then your EQ is gonna help you, okay? But before that, you wanna see, okay, is the mic close enough to the source, okay? Is the monitor too loud? Is the instrument loud enough? Sometimes you can't do anything about that, but if you can, then you can. And these are all ways that you can fix things. I would say when it comes to getting rid of feedback, while using EQ is a tool that can be used, you're now messing with your source tonally and you're getting something less than what you should get, right? You're not getting as good as quality of a signal than you could be getting because you've cut stuff out and it doesn't sound as good. So it's better if we can lower the feedback of the monitor, get it further away from the monitor, get it a louder source, either by getting that microphone closer to the source, getting the source a little louder, then all of those options may alleviate the feedback better than just reaching for the EQ and cutting something out that's feeding back. It's also worth noting on most digital consoles, and we can put a little video here of it, you'll have an RTA where it'll actually show you a real-time analysis of the audio signal coming into the mic. So when you get feedback, you can see what frequency it's happening at. And that's a good place to cut. But again, there are other factors to control: how close the mic is to the speaker, how loud the speaker is, and reducing that bleed into that mic. If you can do that, that's always going to be better than reaching for the EQ. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something, then hey, you're working with audio. And next time you, your organization, the people you work with need gear, we want to be the place that helps you. AboveAVL.com is our name, and we love to help you find the best fit across many brands for the gear that you need and get it into your hands at a personalized price. Not only that, we do lighting and video walls too, and we love to help. No question is too simple, no quote is too small. Feel free to request a quote today. Just buy stuff off the site or shoot us an email, gear@aboveavl.com. We're generally friendly and we love to help. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.